Hello, hello. Welcome to the week 1 game of the UNPL, or the Uva Naranja Premier League. I'm Ben, aka Misery, and I am the coach of the Naruhata Hoppers. Bringing in a team, of Pokemon that I thought were pretty good. I did kind of meticulously prep for everything he had. I think Magnezone and Heatran were a couple of problem children that I didn't want to have Solid Snake himself be the dedicated Pokemon of choice, especially since I did want to play it a bit more defensively with the Rocky Helmet Ruskin combo. You'll notice that he does have Palafin, Zarude, Mamoswine, and potential physical Dragapults. But on this team, it does look like it would be special. I'm quite worried that Flamigo, Flamigo Banded is something that's often pretty good. But you can never discount Scarf because its speed is not the best. Now I could have gone for Scarf Fortune, but I decided against it. Instead, I'm rocking the Expert Belt Physical with Technician and Double Kick. I think that's kind of my heat of the week, just because Double Kick does two-shot any kind of Heatran and any Magnezone. So if they want to switch in and I predict correctly, I can get a Double Kick and just finish them off with another. Now I'm leading here with a Suicide Lead Shiftry. It's not a true Suicide Lead, it doesn't have Explosion, but my main goal in this matchup is to set up Toxic Spike ASAP. He does have a couple of those thick Pokemon, and something like Dragapult, potentially U-turning around on my two Rocky Helmet Pokemon, plus the Toxic could really wear it down nicely. Now I'm just having a quick check to see if there are any switch-ins to a Scarf U-turn, if it's even worth taking damage on anything else, considering I am Sash on this. And I do, in a sense, get the initiative, depending on what he brings out. And as you can see here, he's going to go for the Mamoswine. Mamoswine, obviously a really good switch into this. I could have been doing anything from Swords Dance to switching to pivoting. But obviously he knew that I wasn't going to be doing that because he did switch first. Shadow Sasuke here, I'm just kind of going through some options in case he wants to double or something like that, but I'm expecting a nice shot anyway. And I do sack the Shiftry, but it's not his job, it's got the Toxic Spike up. And it does give me an opportunity to either go into Meryl. I was going to go into Meryl, but I thought, oh, maybe he's Assault Vest. Let's have a quick look at his set. If he's 4 attacks, he's very likely to be Specs. Now here I'm running a non-Scarf Ditto. I do love running Ditto without the Scarf, because you don't expect it. So I'm going to go for Stealth Rock here, making me think that I'm locked in, and I do, fortunately, win that speed side, which is important for potential bluffing later. But we trade him. He's probably going to be expecting me to be locked into this, so I'm going to kind of stay true to this and switch into Corviknight. And he here, like just in case he goes for an Earthquake, because he might be thick fat, I don't know this from copying, because I can't see the status screen. But I go into Corviknight expecting maybe the Earthquake, and instead he does go for the Icicle Spear. Now I have taken Stealth Rock, it's good to realise. And Icicle Spear hits 4 times, keeps me at just above half. I'm thinking the Stealth Rock is like an extra kind of Icicle Spear damage, so I'm thinking I can live at least 1. If he switches to Magnezone, like a hard switch, I do have that Shed Tail on Corviknight that allows me to kind of go into Garchomp for free. I think me doing that play as well would result in me being able to determine if Magnezone is Scarf or Specs, just because the ability to switch up moves and whatnot. But I'm going to go for the Roost here, again just to kind of bait out the damage. It's always a difficult game playing versus potential loaded die sets, because any of those 5 moves can crit. So if you know for a fact you live 5, but you don't live 5.5, it's really not a safe play. But I was confident I could live even 1 with a crit. So I've gone for the Roost to bait it out, and I'm actually going to go for the Body Press here, expecting the Magnezone switch. And as you see here, it does pay off, does just under half. Which makes me think that it's somewhat defensive. Maybe it's max HP or something. But it could still be in draft format, it could be max HP Scarf. You never know, let's go for the Thunderbolt as well. Try to get that maximum damage, not trying to switch out or anything. And he knows that he probably lives another Body Press. So I'm actually going to I'm kind of like weighing up my options here. So what I do here is I offer Spike. I was just going to EQ, but he does have Flamigo, as I say. And he does get a really nice flash cannon damage off on this thing. There's just over half. And I'm thinking to myself, well, I can't predict. I do want to get rid of this thing. I did kind of faff about because I did have Pheasantibity with double kick. That could have done the job quite easily. But I'm still worried about losing Garchomp to overprediction, so I just went for Earthquake. Of course, he absorbs it with Flamigo. And I'm sitting there thinking, I do want to save this, or at least some health on this, for Jet Punch on Palafin. Or maybe to punish a Flip Turn if it wants to go out to him. But yeah, here we'll see that... So here we'll see I switch out Snake into Corviknight, maybe expecting a Brave Bird. If he's Scarf, I know that I can eat and kind of go for a Roost. But he decides he's going to Terra. And I can't lie, I completely forgot Flamigo was one of his Terra Captains. This is why I should always help them open any relevant information either written down or open. And then that way you can tell at a glance. And he goes for the CC off the bat. That would have definitely killed Garchomp. But a Vulcan Raven really, really does hang in there. Now I'm sitting there thinking, is it worth me going Snake? Would I live one? But yeah, I think I am kind of semi-bulky with Garchomp. I'm not fully bulky because I do want some speed. And nothing else is going to switch into a close combat from this. I think even Decoy Octopus, I don't want to reveal the Rocky Helmet. I do still want to kind of have a surprise check for Jet Punch Palafin. Even Wave Crash. So I decided I'm going to sack this thing. As I go here for the Roost. Okay, yeah, the Roost was to make sure, like, if he did decide to switch. I really thought he was going to take me out there. I didn't really lose anything by roosting. Now, he knows for a fact that I've got Shed Shell because I was able to switch out in the past. That is, of course, assuming he is Magnet Ball. And I'm thinking he's going to go for a Flash Cannon here, so I'm going to make the player just go for the Body Press, because that catches everything. Flamigo is now pure Fighting type, so it doesn't resist anything either. And yeah, I mean, I didn't really need to do... I could have just sacked Corviknight there, it would have done too much, just because now that Flamigo has Terrored, he doesn't have any Earthquake switch-ins, like immunities anyway. So I really thought I got a good amount of value out of that turn. Now again here, there's nothing really that wants to switch into this thing. Even Meryl might live, maybe an Icicle Spear, but I really didn't fancy its chances. I don't think it'd live a 5-hit Spear into Ice Shard. So I think here I'm just going to sack the Vulcan Raven. I think I'll go for Iron Head here, just because it does hit kind of everything besides Zone. And it also hits Dragapult as well, which is important. Because if you wanted to rock that double, maybe go for DD, it could have kind of been Jova on my part. But yeah, he does take it out with a nice Spear. He's definitely not locked, we saw him Stealth Rock into attack earlier. And again, he's not leftovers or anything like that, so I'm thinking maybe he's Chocolberry. Or Pasho Berry, to avoid the snipe shot from Meryl. Which would make sense. Now I'm debating going Fortune here. I don't think double kick kills defensive versions, which is why I don't think I go into it in this turn. See, I do decide to go into Meryl anyway. At this point, I didn't have the insight that it could be Pasho. I was really thinking maybe kind of Rindo, just because of Shift Tree. You know, I could potentially switch into something and then filter it out with an Ice Shard. But I'm sitting here thinking I could go for a Flip Turn, just predicting the switch. If he goes into anything, it could be Zarude. Zarude hasn't proven that it's Scarf, it could very well be Assault Vest. And he does go straight into Zarude, so I kind of wish that I'd clicked Ice Beam. Because if he is Scarf, I do outspeed, I think just barely. Oh no, I went for the snapshot damage. Okay, yeah, I wanted something concrete because Mamoswine was still quite healthy. Now at this point I'm thinking, would he expect it? Would he go for a U-turn? And if he does, if I Terra Fire, I'll resist. I think it's probably more likely that he would go for the dark move, but I don't have any switch-ins to this thing. And I definitely think I can take at least one of something. And because I am Choice Scarf, I am forced to go for the Snapshot again. In retrospect, I think I should have gone into maybe Guard Jump. I think Guard Jump would have been good. No reason to go Ditto. Again, if I'm expecting him to U-turn, Ditto's going to die, obviously. Knockoff does a good chunk of damage to me as well. Now, I think I'm going to have to switch here because if he is Scarf, he's going to guarantee outspeed me anyway. So I think at this point I'm going to go into Guard Jump just to kind of finish it off with the Poison, the helmets, the rough skin. I'm pretty sure it guarantees its death there. But he does withdraw, which is quite good of him. Maybe he did expect the Guard Jump to come out. So he gets Palafin in pretty much for free. But now he's not going to flip turn. I think he would just hard switch. He could Ice Punch if he really wanted to. It would take me out. But I don't think it'd be faster in this state versus an offensive Guard Jump. So I think I'm pretty good to just click Earthquake here. And if he were to sack something, I think along these lines I'm expecting him to sack something like a Zarude. But Earthquake is always 100% free at this point. Interesting. Maybe I went Poison Jab for... Oh, Zarude. I guess. Yeah, Poison Jab was kind of a bad play there. I think I really should have just gone for Earthquake at any given point. I think maybe at this point I'd forgotten that Flamigo had Terrored, but I don't think that's likely. Yeah, I can't tell you. That's the thing about watching these games back live recorded. Live versus post-com. Obviously post-com, unless you've just watched a game in its entirety, you're not really going to know everything that he's done. Anyway, he comes into Mammothswine, and in my head I'm thinking he's going to go for Ice Shard. At this point, I don't even remember if I had Ice Shard or not, but we're about to find out. If he does Ice Shard, then we definitely live this, it's all good, and we do bluff the Scarf, and he is of course Ice Shard, it makes sense. Now at this point, I think I could just go for an Icicle Spear, to definitely take it out. I could also Earthquake. As stated before, he doesn't have any switch-ins. I really should be clicking Earthquake because it does hit Palafin as well. And at this point, he still might think I'm Scarf. I've not revealed the helmet yet, it's not taken any physical contact from it. So at this point, I should be clicking Earthquake. But I think I went... Yeah, okay. Proud of myself. So Ditto picks up a kill. Mamo versus Mamo. I mean, at this point, I think if he's going to switch into anything, it could be the Dragapult. Could be the Dragapult, but it's not really going to want to take a hit from there. I mean, it'll definitely live one. But I don't think Dragapult's the play, especially versus Scarf. So at this point, I think it'd go Palafin. Palafin definitely eats like an Earthquake. Although from this health, I don't know. But I think I switch here because I am expecting a Jab Punch. I don't want to reveal the Rocky Helmet just yet because it could still come kind of clutch. So I think here I'm definitely going to go into maybe sack Guard Chomp. Yeah. So in theory, the Jet Punch or Ice Punch would take out most of Palafin's health, but instead it's special. Now this really threw me off my entire game plan. I never expected to see special Palafin week 1, and now, as you can see here, I'm panicked. I've got no idea what I'm doing, but I'm thinking to myself, if he's special, he's not going to be running Jet Punch. At least in theory, it could be running a mix set. But if you're running Palafin special, you're running Boom Burst, you're running Grass Knot, and Surf, and maybe Flip Turn just to kind of get those out, bluff some physical action. But here I'm really frazzled because I'm like, well, Decoy Octopus isn't going to do anything really. And before I went into my Inteleon, which, spoiler alert, I forgot that Stealth Rocks were up. Before I went into that, I wanted to make sure that he didn't have Jet Punch. So I'm sitting there thinking, I could just win the Speed Side, go for the Boom Burst and take him out. And then maybe have him go into Dragapult. And then from there I could maybe Agility up. But of course I do have to win the Speed Side if he stays in. it's a tricky one, because I really didn't prep for this to be special at all. I think I was prepped for bulk up, I was prepped for kind of banded, but he does unfortunately win the speed sire. It does reveal that I'm not a scarf, but it doesn't matter at that point, he's already taken me out. And he does get that throat spray boost as well. So if I'd won that speed sire... Look out, Meryl. There are stealth rocks in the field. I forgot about the stealth rocks. I was quite confident I was going to be able to revenge with an ice beam. Because ice beam from here should definitely take it out. I say definitely. Yeah, an ice beam would have taken it out. And of course that leaves him with the fighting type Flamigo and the other one. So Fortune here. Fortune's going to outspeed. I am EV to outspeed this. I thought I'd show off the double kick just because I didn't really have any other option. I didn't want to miss a play rough, I didn't want to miss a gunk shot. And I wanted to stay healthy for that Dragapult. Now from here I'm thinking it is GG. The Flamigo is most likely Scarf. But I'm still kind of holding out hope here. If I can hit a play rough, if I can survive a hit from Dragapult, whether it's Specs or Banded. I was kind of half expecting Phantom Force as well. But easily living that. And at this point I just have to hope that Flamigo is Banded Adamant. Because with Terra Fighting, you can't switch into that. So here I'm praying that I outspeed, he's Adamant. And B, I land a play rough. So here we go, what's it going to be? It's a 50-50. Maybe a bit less in my favour because I do need to hit. I don't know why I'm waiting here. I think at this point I was in the... yeah. He is Choice Scarf, unfortunately. I should have played with that in mind. I shouldn't have forgotten about the Stealth Rocks. I think at that point I should never have terrored with Inteleon. I should never have terrored with Inteleon there. There was no need for it. Magnezone was already quite low. But yeah, I think if I wasn't Terra, I would have outsped. I would have been good. It would have been good to click just Ice Beam. But you live and you learn. There are some plays that you could have made a bit differently. Again, if I'd won a speed tie again with Ditto, really good. But it's too much to ask, winning 3 speed ties in a row. But yeah, that's our week 1 game. Sorry, a very close one. It was a 1-1, and it wasn't a clean sweep on either side. So always entertaining when that happens. Look out for week 2. Watch my opponent's point of view on the in the link down below. Yeah, look out for me in week 2.